And the first question from C. Senni is, do you suggest we try to follow along if we have Zbrush?
Absolutely. I use Zbrush. This is my favorite program of sculpting. So yeah, absolutely. Follow along, and if you want to do the same, just do the same. I mean, I'm going to talk about some really important stuff, some really critical stuff when sculpting and modeling. So yeah, I mean, just follow along. Absolutely.
Okay,
Every
great.
time I begin a sculpt or doing a character, if you're doing it at your free time or in a company, so always pick up some reference. Or if you're doing in my case, I'm doing a dwarf. I love our dwarfs, but I'm going to do my own fan-made dwarf. I'm picking up some reference, and I will share a screen to you how I do my reference. So yeah, I mean, as you see in the screen right here, I have a dwarf face and a dwarf body and the autonomy and everything. So dwarfs are small people and pretty muscular. Can be fat too. So just taking in the reference and just looking into just typing in images and just seeing this is really helpful when sculpting. I do it all the time. I'm not just going into ZBrush and just sculpting whatever comes in mind. So the dwarf has his own fundamentals, and we need to go after that. So I will be sharing my screen in ZBrush. I've done a base mesh of the dwarf already because we don't have a lot of time, but to get into it directly to the details and everything. So as you can see, I have a face muscle picture here. Always have reference. It's a really important thing. Even if you're doing a stylized characters or anything else, we need to go after the autonomy of the body and the muscles in the face and the body. So it's really important for us to just get into it. So I will be start sculpting the face. As you can see here in my right corner here, I have the body. If I can do solo, so I have the head by itself, I have the body by itself, I have the eyebrows, and I have the eyes. So I've just separated everything so I can work freely. And every character I do, I always begin with Dynamesh. So some people use Blender. I don't know if Dynamesh is in Blender, but I think it's in Blender. But Dynamesh it's just a lot of topology, not even topology on the character, as you can see it in the face here. So I'll be soloing this, and just by looking at the topology, it's a mess. But that helps me sculpt from the beginning a form and a body to come into the character and cleaning out the character later on. So I begin always with the sculpting with the Dynamesh, because when you Dynamesh, as you can see here, let me just see here if I can take this away because I have it in front of me. But if you see, if I do this and then refresh it, it will get new topology on it. So let me just see if I can put out some more Dynamesh in here. So no, I want to reach more than that. Let me get, yeah, I mean 300 is good. So just look this one here, just and then put that up to I mean, if you can see here in the corner right here, I have 250,000, can we say? So 250,000 polygons on the head. And I think it's pretty good for some details and making the character pop out. So as you can see, this is a base mesh right here. So for me, I'm looking at the reference pictures I have in front of me here. So always when I sculpt, I do switch between pictures and seeing the autonomy on the face and everything, and getting a bit of inspiring of other people that have done dwarfs, because it's really helpful for me. So this dwarf will be an old man. Dwarf usually are old, but this is the common thing to look at. It's an old dwarf with long hair, long beard. This is what we're doing. And so as I'm sculpting, I will be quiet and be talking, quiet and be talking. So if you have any questions, please, you may ask. So I'll be turning on symmetry. So when I sculpt the outside. Always, I always sculpt like that. If you want to do a realistic dwarf, then you will do this, and at some point you must take it away, because for realistic stuff, it's more that you cannot have the same eyes, exactly the same eyes as the other side, because it's realistic, and we people intend not to. It's an illusion thing, you know. If I have two different eyes, if an eye is open here and closed here, you will not see that. It's an illusion. It's a realistic illusion. But I will start with doing the symmetry thing. So I will start by doing the face muscles, trying to understand how the face muscles work. So it's an old person, so I will begin by just, rabbling up some sculpting on him, and we have a cheekbone right here. It's really important for the sculpting. So I'll be refreshing the model all the time and smoothing out every single time. And you will see me smoothing out and bringing it and smoothing out. So let's see here. I have it. For me here, I'm just showcasing the muscles, just to know that the muscles need to be showing. And at some stage I will change that. In the sculpting, you will understand. Every time you sculpt, you will understand more and more of your character that you're doing, and some things will not stay the same. Some things will look weird from the beginning, and it's just to put out the muscle, in the face. Just trying to, if you look at the face right, like here, so you see it's beginning to look like, a bit of muscles. And I'm a big fan with the eyebrows, because the eyebrows make the character the place where the eyebrows are makes the character. This is in my opinion. So if you're doing a dwarf, and the dwarfs, a bit of old small people, let's say, as you saw in the reference pictures I mentioned. So, and I usually do, just make a marking on the eyes, where the eyes should look like, just to have an idea where the eyes will be. So it's a matter of, knowing the autonomy of the body and the muscles on the face, and all of that. And from there you will understand, because old people have different muscles. They have a lot of, stripes and everything. So we need to really look at that. So I'll be doing this a bit, fast, so that I can come to the body too, and we talk autonomy too. So in my case, I'm doing a dwarf, and what makes a dwarf is the beard. So I will be making the beard as soon as possible, because I need to know where everything will look, how everything will look like with the beard, and I will be switching back and forth and looking how everything is looking with the beard, because they have a lot of beard. It's half of the face, so it's a really important process. And me, when I'm doing characters for game development or anything else, I always make the face, for itself, and not making a half face and a half beard, because it's easier way to, manipulate. So all making the eyes here, so just to have an idea on how it should look like. And you see the eyes look really weird here, right? So this is not a problem for me, because I have the move tool right here, so I can make the eyes look a bit better, So So I will be doing the beard now. So by doing the beard, it's really easy. You know, everyone thinks it's you know it's a hassle, but it's really easy. Just by you know, I always you know begin with a sphere. So it's a no solo mode. That's why. So let me just take down this a bit. You know, take away the body. We want the beard here somewhere. So. Let's do this and transparent so that I can see the ball where it comes. And from there, I always dynamesh my things. So this sphere is not dynameshed. It's even topology, but I will dynamesh it just because I want to manipulate it as much as I can. Let me take that. No, that's too much. Let me think. Yeah, 5,000 is good. So what I tend to do is, you know, it's about knowing your tools too. So, so if I come here and make, you know, turn on symmetry, I forgot that. So if I can see if this is too much. So just try to see here. I'm getting an idea of how it should look like. So
Yeah, but question from Emmanuel.
yeah,
He's asking, is there any times when sculpting can't or shouldn't be used? Environments, buildings, units, etc. Non-organic models.
to be fair, it depends on the experience you have, but sculpting can be used at everything. Hard model surfaces. You know, hard model surface is best when you're using, you know, hard surface stuff, you know, only modeling and calculating stuff. But sculpting can be used for everything.
Okay, nice. Are you
Because,
satisfied with that answer? Or, sorry.
or maybe I misunderstood. I mean,
And they had another question. He was satisfied with that answer.
yeah.
His second question is, do you do sculpting in the real world as well?
No.
No.
But I think I will do good if I if I got the chance. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. So
He clarified
Yes.
that sculpting in the real world is offline as well. So
Yeah,
if you mix up the
yeah.
online world with the offline world.
Yeah. I know. No, I do a lot of sculpting, but not in real life though. So
Okay.
yeah. So as you can see here, you see it's beginning to look like a mustache. You know. So
Actually,
he has a. What did you say?
you have another question as well.
Yeah.
From Hayan. He said, did
Yeah.
you sculpt the head and the body separately, or did you sculpt them as one and then cut the head off, so to speak?
No, separately. I will just, you know, demonstrate it really fast so you can understand how I did the face and the body. So just to make this solo and trying to, so I'll begin with a spear, right? So it's a really easy thing to, and I really encourage everyone to try to come in and do it manually, because right now I have assets. I've done a lot of assets for my own so that I can reuse all the time. So it's much faster for me to work that way and not to begin from scratch from a sphere, you know. So, but everyone, if you have the chance, make your own assets. And yeah,
Hayan, did that answer your question?
so I will begin just, you
he's
know,
happy.
just nice. So let me just, you know, just bring out the head here. So, so now I'm doing just something really fast here. Nothing serious, you know. So just nothing really serious here. So this is the chin. Let's say this is the chin, right? And this is the face right here. So This is the face right here, right? So I come here and do a bit of, a circle here. And then with Dynamesh, you extrude this. So this looks like a head, right? Almost. It looks like a duck, but And then from here, I use always I use symmetry with this. So I come here and I adjust everything, and from there I begin and just making the head and everything. So it looks really bad, but I mean, you get the idea. So, and then trying to sculpt the eyes fast, sculpt the mouth, and then from there I begin. So this is how I did this face right here. So this is how I did this face here. You see, this is the same as this is Dynamesh. So always make your own assets, and this will help you a lot. And you see this here right here. This is an asset I will use in the future too. So always. But I did this from scratch. I did it from scratch. Yeah. So let me just. Yeah. So if that answers your question, then yeah. So let's go back to the beard. We'll take this away. Take the body away and just focus on here. So yeah. So the only thing that I can really tips everybody, and give a good thing to know, that know your tools always when sculpting is a really important thing, because people tend to don't know what tools to use, and this can be a problem. But take your time and try to invest in Blender, or in what software you use. If it's Zbrush, please try to take your time and to know all the tools and every single function, and then everything will be easy, So this is another spear. This is you see, I'm separating everything. So I'm separating the mustache from the beard, from the head, and everything will be merged. Everything will be merged. That's why Dynamesh is a really powerful tool, because Dynamesh you can really manipulate things much easier. Problems to make your stuff, So don't be afraid, The topology will come. Let me see here. So I will be doing a beard right here. So if I can just transparent here, and then let me just, I can do this. Oh, this is not good Dynamesh. Let's see if I can Dynamesh this even more. We need a lot of more topology on the sphere. If I can, 45 is good. Yeah, I think 45 is good. 45,000. Yeah. So as you can see, the mustache is, the beard is need to be like this. So, and then you just try to manipulate everything so that you have a beard, So that's really important to know the everything, how it works, how the beard is on a man, even if it's stylized, even if you're doing a cartoonish stuff. Try to take your time and learn the autonomy of the body, and because this will help you later on when doing stuff in your own free time. As you can see here, so
yeah, you got another question.
Yeah.
Emanuel asks, do you use any plugins or extension, or is this pure / vanilla ZBrush?
So what do you mean by extensions? So plugins. I have ZBrush's own plugins. I don't do my own plugins. This is the software's plugins that are only built in. So
Do you have any follow-up questions on that, Emanuel? I mean, is there many plugins? I'm not a Zbrush person,
Yeah.
but maybe
No,
a
the
quick
thing is,
overview of the most important plugins.
that's an awesome question, because people ask me a lot. ZBrush does have, you can make your own plugins. So in ZBrush, you can manipulate everything here. So you can do your own assets, you can do your own brushes, you can do your own plugins. So people do sell their own plugins. So yeah, I mean, if you're working in a big industry, so I think they do have their own plugins and assets and everything. But in my opinion, do your own assets, do your own plugins if you want. So this is a vanilla thing. This is a default ZBrush thing. So I taught myself manually doing everything. So and then I began doing my own assets just to save time. I cannot begin every single project I made with a sphere. It's impossible. You're just wasting a lot of time. So we intend to have a lot of assets yet. So this is a vanilla, if you call it a vanilla. Yeah. Yeah. So I will be adding a bit.
He's happy
Yeah.
with the answer.
Here, so you have a better idea. What you see as a sculptor, my eyes is I always see stuff on the face. I see stuff on the. I don't need to make details, but I would make some really fast details for you just to see this is a beard. So this is, let me see. Yeah, this is good. So let me just put in some striations here just to see that it is a beard here. So as you can see, I'm just using some striations here to make it a beard. So then I will do the same thing with the beard here. So and so I'll be fixing that. So as you can see, I'm using symmetry all the time. So you're saving time when you're sculpting. When you teach yourself doing symmetry, you will have a lot of time on your hands. And if I want to make more details, I define them even more if I just can put up the resolution a little bit more. So now it's 100. That's really nice. So now I'm just adding some volume on the beard, and that's what makes a beard, just adding volume and adding yeah, and you will see what I mean here soon. So I do this, and then I smooth it out a bit. Smooth this out. I see this. It looks like a beard now. So if we put up the body right here, so you can see now he looks a bit more like a dwarf. But for me to know that I'm working with a dwarf, I need to have the beard as soon as possible, so that from there I can begin my journey on the details on the face. So here, where the mouse comes in, so I need to, and let me just take the mustache a bit up too, so we have a bit more details that is shown here, and then I go back to the face, making the lips. So I can see the lips a bit more. As you can see now, it looks good. But if I take away the beard, see, he looks really, it doesn't look that good. That's because the beard makes me decide where the mouth is. So this is a smart way of working. So instead of just focusing on the face all the time, focusing on the face, yeah. So, and here I'm just adding, some beard stuff that looks like a beard. And now let's work on the face, a bit of details. So, and the beard decides also where everything goes. So you see here, this part here that I'm doing, it's because he's an old man, right? So I'm trying to make that, the old skin type. And I tend to, you know, just switch between clay tubes and the standard brushes, you know. But the power thing with this clay tubes is that if I do this, see, it doesn't go far ahead. So if I use the clay buildup and do this, you see, it doesn't look good. So I don't know sometimes how much I'm putting in. So the clay tube is really powerful tool. So to use on the face, on the muscles, that you don't go overboard with the you know, clay and the stuffing and all of that. So and it works really good when you're smoothing it too. So you see, smoothes out really nice. So if I take the face and make it a more dynameshed here, now we have almost 500,000. I think that's pretty close for me to begin with the nice details that I want to make. So, and I'm using the club and I'm using the clay. So the clay is really nice. And I tend to use the clay and the standard. So the standard brush is the striations, you know. And this is really important for sculpting. Oh, sorry. I'm going to tell you why it's important, because I do intend to, you know, make paths for the sculpting with this one. You see? So and if I smooth this out, I have a bit of, you know, striations left, just to know that, I mean, I'm in a good path. I mean, and if we're going in like crazy detailing, I mean, like crazy details, you know. So I need to add a bit more things here, and just to add more details on the face. It's really important. And you know, it's an old man, so he needs to have a lot of striations on the face, and you know, stretch marks, or whatever you call them. So I intend to just, you know, destroy the model that way. See, I'm just doing a lot of, you know, things here. So and then just smooth that out. So but when I smooth this out, now I have a path, you see, that I can sculpt on. So here is the things I'm gonna sculpt on and take out the definition from. This one's here. I'll be doing this, you know, several times, just to have a good flow on the face. You see, more organic, you know, more of that crispy stuff we need. So this here, just an extra detail on the face. You see, it looks really good when you just look at him that way, because he has this detail right here. It's important details. That's why I have the reference in front of me, because I'm looking at multiple pictures at the same time and just seeing, you know, everything that is happening in the face. One of the most important stuff is the eyebrow section, because he's an older guy, so he needs to look good. I'm just gonna take away the eyebrows, just to look what I'm sculpting. So just to make a bit of definition, and then from there I'm going to use the striation brush to make it even more. So now he has a bit, you know, of a face form, and then from standard brush, the striation brush, use this. Oh, sorry. And I try to let us take down the nose a bit, because the nose is a bit, you know, taking away some details. So if I take the nose right here, Yeah, that's good. That's good. So that I want some details to stick out. For example, we have a detail here. Just refresh that. So we get new topology, and that's the amazing thing about Dynamesh. It's that it creates a lot of new topology, uneven topology. This is a really bad topology for game design or game development. But this is not a final project. This is only a something that I will project everything on, and I hope that I can take. I will see if I have the time to show you guys what I do to make a game topology project. So what you see here, I'm getting into the details a lot. Now we're having the eyes here. I'll be smoothing this out. And then we have some nice sharp edges, so it looks a bit organic. Now what I like to do is take my standard brush and just destroy a lot of things here. So because he's an older guy, he needs to have a lot of striations and things. Let's see here. So, just to make him look even better here. So, and keep in mind, I'm gonna smooth this out. So it's always smooth. I'm always smoothing out things. So now I'll be smoothing out, and you'll see how it looks. So always smooth out the edges so it looks organic, and then from there try to be careful with the smoothing so that you don't smooth a lot of details on him. So, and this is only a face, and now I have some paths here to use. You see here, this is the gap here, so I'm using this. This is a really important detail because this is the face muscles. That's why it's really important to know the face muscles and the body muscles and everything when you're sculpting. It's really important for you to know that. Bringing in some a bit more details here, so here too. So, and then I will smooth that out again, like that. So by smoothing, you make that organic. You see? Now he looks like a bit of old man. So soon I'll be switching to the body, and then let me just fix the nose, because the nose is a really important thing in the dwarf section. And dwarfs tend to have really big noses, really fat noses. So this is the common picture of a dwarf. So it's as I said, it depends on the character that you are making. You need to know. That's why I have reference. You need to know how he looks and go from there. So an important part that I will be making is the old man striations, I call them. And here, I think that will be good. I think so. Just move out a bit more. Get that, you see that? That's a really important, detail to get. It's really small detail, but it's really important. And this is the most important thing when you're sculpt, to have these important details when you're doing an older man or middle-aged man or a baby. Try to have I'll be isolating this. This will look really bad, I know. But this is a later on cleaning up stuff, This is a later on. This is just a workshop, and I'm showing you how do I work. And you see this right here. It's an old man, but if I isolate this, it doesn't look good at all. This I will be fixing in the end. So this is something that will be fixed in the end. In my case, if I work with characters, let me just make a nose right here. So this is just forming the nose so that I can have something to go after. So let me make the holes, and I'll always make the holes in the first stages just to know where the nostrils are and work from there. But the same thing with the ear. If you look at the ear right here, we need to make a hole somewhere. So where the ear is, just make a hole right here, and then smooth that out. And then after that, we go for the important part here. And now if I smooth that out, voila, that's magic, right? You see? It's magic. It's because you need to have a good understanding on the human anatomy, as I said. So I'm just making a little bit striations, make things look even better. You know, if you have time, always work on your art, and always try to make it as good as possible. And this is a really important detail. I always add with some creatures or inhuman stuff. So it's like tight in here, right? I'm just adding a standard past here. Let's do this. Yeah, and then let's put that back. I need to smooth that a bit more and take out this thunder brush and try to make it a bit organic here. Making a bit more organic. So. And if you have any questions, please, I mean, for the 3D modelers or people that really want to know some stuff, important stuff, and please just write me a message if anything too, so I will be happy to help. Now let's begin with the body. And I mean, the thing is here, I will do that a bit fast so you know what I mean. This is an important, really important stuff. So to know the anatomy of the body, you need to know the muscles where they sit. So even if you're doing a cartoony stuff, it's really important just to know how everything works. So we'll turn out some symmetry here. Nice. Oh, what happened to the body? Yeah, this is some Zbrush stuff right here. This is the problem I get with Zbrush sometimes. So, and I'm used to it, so it's a good thing. So yeah, so the breast muscles is 3 muscles, 4 sometimes, depends on the character that you are doing. So I'm doing the breast here, so this is a really important aspect here, this muscle here, just to have a good understanding. Let's make the bone here, important stuff.
We got not a question, but kind of a request from Elvelli. Said, I hope to see transform to low poly to look how much detail will be saved.
Yeah, I mean, this is the easier part. The low poly is the easier part. And this is the thing with ZBrush is, I will show a fast understanding how I work with this. So I always do the high poly first, and this is a really good tips to everyone that is working with the stuff in the 3D world. try to always begin with the high poly, because then you know you have a product, you have a product that you're going to work on. So, and then from there you do a low poly, and this is how ZBrush works, and this is how my workflow is going to be.
So that, just to clarify, is something you will show later on in the.
Yeah. Well, I'll
Yep.
do that. I'll do that. It's a fast process, so it's not a so. So if you're doing something if you're doing something in your free time for a low poly, low poly is not an important stuff if you're doing something in your free time. So I think the low poly and all of that is important when you are doing some game development. You need to have you really need to have the low poly and everything, and a really good low poly. Not so. Let me just smooth that out. Looks good here. So it depends how muscular you want the character to be, and to know the autonomy of every single of the body and how the muscles work. A really good reference is a bodybuilder. Just watch how a bodybuilder builds his body and how they look. And this is my reference of looking at stuff when looking at the muscles. So
Yeah, and then I
that's
actually
something.
got a question from Shante. How do you decide level of detail of the character, since it is a top-down RTS game? Will they also be using cinematics / close-ups?
So the question is, it's an RTS. Yeah, I mean, what game you ever, if you have a game, even if it's it's from you play it from long from afar, always be productive with your skills, and always love the thing you do, because I always make my characters crisp, even if you can see the details, because they can be used in cinematics too. So later on, I mean, it's a really important aspect, and just because it's an RTS, you need even if it's an old RTS, make it as good as possible, stylized. So that's really so. Let's continue with the muscles, and it's really easy when you know the muscles where they sit. So I know the biceps is here. See, when you look at the bodybuilder, they do have a bit of extra muscles here, and I've done my bodybuilding in my time, so too. So I know I have a bit of experience there too. So sometimes when I can't reach some areas, I do intend to isolate this and then isolate this and work on this side only. And it will do the same thing in the other side, so I'm not worried about that. And the whole character is symmetrical. So you need to have some stuff calculated before doing any other stuff. So that's just, this is a big bicep right here, but for fun's sake. And he has a stomach too, so some monsters, or not monsters, but a human, does have stomachs and muscles at the same time. It does work like that sometimes. So now I'm just making the stomach a bit bigger, and making details on the stomach too, so it does look organic when you look at it. So yeah. The hands, as you can see, is the hands a bit, tricky. You need to learn the autonomy of the hands before doing the hands. But the hands in sculpting is a bit tricky. It's hard stuff to do. Took me some time to learn the hands, but nothing is impossible, Just work on your craft. Try. This part. On this part right here. The lats, the important part in the body. Every picture. So. I remember this is an orc. So. Oh, I mean, this is a dwarf. Sorry. So this he needs to be that that muscle.
Got a message from Simbane. Said, I am not sure I agree fully about that. You rather make multiple models in that case. In an RTS, it is more important to work on shape and readability. You would probably make a different model for the cinematics. So making it more detailed is a waste of time if it is not used for close-ups.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at that way, it's possible, yeah. But you need to always if you're working with a company or if you're working with something, you need to to listen to your leads and always to know what they are bringing, because in our game something is important right here. So you can zoom in a lot in our game, and this is a really good feature we have. And in our game, you can zoom in really close in the character. So that's why I make them crisp. So
I have something to add to that, which I don't. I mean, I work in marketing. I'm no developer, but I wouldn't like LOD level of detail kind of make it worth to only do like a high res character, because I mean it can take a bit of processing power to render like 10,000 high resolution characters, and level of detail will combat that.
Absolutely, and I've done a lot of characters, and I've been working on some characters, and I mean it depends on, as I always say, it depends on the experience and how many years you've been in this industry, and done all that. So I mean, I can make a detailed character, pretty fast, and make him crisp pretty fast. And this character right here is his 3,000 polygons. I know it's a lot of polygons for a game, but this is not an end project. And speaking about that, I will show you how I make an end game project. So first of all, I will be mixing the head and the body together, right? So, but let's begin with the body. I'm going to show only the body, how I make him, a game asset. So there's a feature in Zbrush we have. It's called Z Remesh, that we take this insane topology right here and make it really low. All right. So I will not go in too much detail in this, but in my case, I usually take this part, and if you see the color right here, I will group by mask. So the arms has different colors. The legs, the legs has different colors, right? And the body has different colors. So you see, I've already split everything apart. So when I Z remesh, the software will read the different groupings, and make a really good Z remesh out of it. So now if I make a Z remesh now it's 350,000 polygons. Now it's 11,000. You see, it's high. It's really high. we need to take that, a bit down. If it's a really small unit in the game, we need to bring it as much down as possible. But the thing is here is that the high poly, we only need that for details, right? So it can be as high as possible because the baking process will take place. We bake the high on the low, right? So we're using the low. If we go even lower than that, we go 8,000, and even lower than that, 5,000, and even lower than that, 4,000, right? So I have 4,000 now. Let's say this is a spot, a soft spot for me, right? Let me just. So I'll do that fast. I need to duplicate this. This is really important. So you need to duplicate. Always
Okay.
duplicate. Do not do it. Yeah.
Another question.
Yeah.
Eveli asked, what do you do to prevent your animators to not cry in a corner while they are working on a model afterwards?
So is it my model you mean? Like if I make a model for the animation team? If I understood you right, I think she means that.
See, she's typing now, so we'll get some clarification.
Yeah.
Yes, and I am your animator.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So for the animator team needs to have good topology, right? They need to like for the special places in the body that like arms or legs or fingers or that all of that they need really good topology to work on animation and all of that. So I mean just work on the
personal
topology.
question, is that like the same thing as mesh skeletons you just described, or?
No, I mean, because the thing is, we sculptors when we make characters, we need to have good topology for the animation team, so they can work because they are doing the skeleton, they are doing the the rigging and all of that. So we need to have really good topology so it doesn't deforming the
Okay.
character. If he does this, it doesn't make a lot of bad sculpting here, so we need to have really good round topology around the whole bending areas, so the thing is what I do, I always if I go into detail with this, I do use zero mesh guide. So what I do is I need that Zbrush to know that this place here needs to be a lot of topology, and this place here needs to be topology because the character needs to nod his head when he walks, so he needs to have good and the shoulders too. So the shoulders and the hips, really important stuff to make the and then I will make a Z-ray mesh again because now I've told ZBrush that these guides right here, I need them to be more topology or this way. I want this topology to be at this way, So I'm guiding Z-ray mesh to do stuff. So if I make this and adapt to 100%, now you will see. Hopefully. No. This now it's going back to Dynamesh. So let me just do that again. If I make this right here and make this right here, and I'm just doing this fast, when you're taking your time and doing awesome stuff. So I zero mesh this, and hopefully I will get a lot of rounder, good stuff. So as you can see here, it's round here, right? So it's a lot of topology right here, so the animators team can use. It's more topology here, It's in the hips too. Let's see. Now I'm having, but this is not a clean project. This is not a clean model, so I'll be working with that a lot more when I'm doing a game asset. But this is the way I do stuff, So I'm going back, and I hope this will answer your question. To have a really good topology for the animation team, really important. So it's not just to sculpt; it's to have and help them understand that the eyes are round topology and the mouth is round topology and the shoulders is round topology, you know. And some areas have more topology than others. And just speak with the animation team always. This is my way of working. This is the workflow. So yeah, so now we have a, let me see here. We have a character. This is a low poly, 11,000. All right. So I'm just yeah. So this is even topology, right? So this 11,000 is so much. It depends on the game, but it's a lot, you know. But I will use this reference to show you guys how I make the high and low poly and then bake them. You know, I will not be baking this in this, you know, workshop, but I will show you the high and the low and how I do. So we have a low, right? And we subdivide. So I subdivide the model by 4 times. So every time I press this, the divide, it divides by 4. So the square divides by 4 every time. So be careful always when you divide. So now I'll be dividing. So let me just see how much this is. This is 350,000, right? So I need to reach that level of high. So I will do divide again. This 180, divide again. Now it's 700,000, right? And this is the high poly. So this is, I will not be using this. I will be using this in the game. The low poly, not the high poly. The high poly is only for the baking and only for the details, right? So so now I have 700,000. So now, and Zbrush has a really good thing that is called Project All. So this right here is Project All, and we use that to project everything from a model to another model, and that you need to have the model exactly, you know, the same place. You see here, it's one model on top of another. So you see, it's exactly the same place. So you need to have it that way, and then you press Project All. Yes. Let me just see. So if I take, yeah.
So Veli added that you should give your animators ice cream as well. Might help it make so they don't cry in a corner. And then Amber Vortex says, shifting gears a bit, I'm curious about the impact of the growing popularity and advancements of AI on 3D sculpting. How do you think AI is influencing or potentially enhancing the field of 3D sculpting?
It depends what you mean by AI, because there's a lot of AI, but the AI, I think it's taking away our skilled sculptors, really. So, but the AI doesn't work as good as the manual stuff we're doing. So this is, even if you're doing an AI and you're saving a lot of time, you need to go back and do a lot of adjustments by yourself. So I think it's better to learn and to be good at something, and not to trust any AI. Trust your skills, because we artists, we hate AIs. Just so you know. even the 2D concept artists, you know, the concept, they hate the AI, because AI is doing a great job, you know, but it's taking away every single stuff we're doing. And yeah, so now I project all right on the character. Now if I take away the second, this is the low poly. This is the high, or the good topology character here, the model or the subtool here. You see, if I take it down now, let me just do this and take it down to 11,000. You see, this is what we are going to use in the game, but we are baking out the high poly on the low, so it will not look like this. It would look better than this, with a lot of detail. Yeah, so this is the high poly. So you see, it's not a big difference. So if I solo this and then go here, you see, this is the dynamic, and this is the right topology model. You see, it's exactly the same. This is how I work. So this is an even topology guy here. This is an even topology that can be used in a game, but 11,000 it's a bit too much for one dwarf in the game. But yeah, this isn't just an idea how it works. So this is the low poly of it. So yeah,
Elveli wants to know how his face will look in low poly.
yeah, but we'll do that too. Yep, it's easy, but the face will look, the face doesn't look good here. So he looks like an alien without the beard. So yeah, and it's a process. So after I'm done with everything, I will be going back to the face and doing the whole face organically again. So it's just to have an idea all the time when I'm sculpting, bam bam, and going forwards with the sculpt, and not just stopping somewhere, like stopping on the nose, stopping on the mouth, stopping on the eyes. This will take a lot of time. We need a good project, and then when we're finished with that Dynamesh, we do a clean topology of it, and then we will clean out the whole character and make it nice. So yeah, he looks really bad here, right? So I will duplicate this. Don't forget to duplicate, it's really important. Again, and to be fair, this will be a bit hard on Zero Measure because I haven't cleaned out the character as good. So I will be telling Zero Mesh that I want some circular stuff here. Let me just that down.
So Dante said you don't bake normal maps? Question mark. Or
what do you mean by baking normal? I mean the normal maps, you must bake them if you wanna have, if you go into Substance Painter and you have a character, you need to bake everything up, every single map, so that when you take it into a rendering software, it will look insane. If you color stuff on the face and the body, you need to have a normal map and an albedo and all of that. So the maps is really important. Absolutely, I bake everything, but I make UVs before I send it to the animation team. So it's always that workflow I'm making. So when I'm done, I go to the low poly, bake out the UV, and then bake out all the maps with the UV. So I do that. Yes.
okay, so Shante came with an update. Said about baking normal maps. He said, okay, I was just confused since you projected high poly details to the remeshed. Is that the way you pronounce it? Body in Zbrush. Generally, you would just sculpt the high poly, then create the low poly, and then bake them in Substance.
Yeah, it depends how you work. So it's a really good question. It's a lot. You work. Everyone works not the same. Every single artist works differently. So some people take the FBX, the whole model, and go bake somewhere using Maya or using Substance. I use only Zbrush. I know it's the hard way, but I use only Zbrush for doing that. So I do bake everything, and I can show you how I bake it. So it's really easy. Just press up a button.
Simbane said, I recommend trying to play around with some super sculpty for real life sculpting.
Oh, the real life thing, yeah. Yeah, I mean, why not? Yeah. Someday, maybe.
Christmas
absolutely.
Soon. Can wish for it.
Christmas soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a Christmas house now, so.
Yeah.
So now I have guided ZBrush or zero mesh how I want the face will look like. So I will zero mesh that and see how it looks like. It will look really terrible. I know that because I've done this a lot. I need to do some tries and do it a lot. It takes time. But now let's see. So as you can see, before I did the zero mesh here, I did tell ZBrush or zero mesh that I want a round thing here. I want some round topology on the eyes. I want the round topology on the mouth, right? So So this is I'm telling ZRemesh to go after what I want. So now when I ZRemeshed everything, you see, now it's more round topology on the eyes, round topology on the mouth, round topology on the ears. So and then the neck is really bad. Let me just do this to tell ZRemesh I want this instead. So that ZRemesh knows that. Yeah.
Your animator belly says it looks perfect.
Yeah, thank you. So this is the way of doing stuff. So you see, this is the round topology on him. So it's really, it helps the animation team to know that yeah, we can close his eyes and open his eyes easily without deformation, anything on the face. You know, always when you're working in games or anything, so try to.
Yeah,
Try to always.
she can't. Is it she or?
Yeah, yeah.
She. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. She said I cannot wait to animate that.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I will divide this. So I want to see the face. It's 500,000 almost. So I will divide it up to 500,000, right? So bam. Now it's 700,000. So it's okay. So now taking out the solo mode. Now if you see, it's in the same place. It's two faces at the same time. So now I'm gonna project everything from the high poly from the Dynamesh, you know. So now I'm going to project all, and we will see that it's exactly the same with much cleaner topology. So you see now it's finished, and let's see. So now I'm going into solo mode again. Let me just take away this. So this is the Dynamesh part, and this is the clean topology. It's the same. It's identical. It's because I use Dynamesh to make a faster sculpt, and then I will do a clean topology, and then I work from there. So you see the face here. If I go to low poly right here, this is the low poly face. This will be used in the game, any game. So, and then we will bake everything in the high poly, and it will look insane. So yeah, this is how I work really. So let's just bring them together. Oh, this is the low poly, so let me try to put up the high poly. It looks really, I know it's darker on the face, but it's another process. This to make everything go into each other. It's a lot of process. Not a lot of process, but you need to merge everything with Dynamesh, and then you need to do it again. So, and here's the pants for anyone that wants the pants, and the beard and the eyes. Let me see. So this is the dwarf for you. This is a dwarf. And the hands and the feet are it's a bit complicated to go into details with that, but this is how I make the sculpting of every single character I make. Always reference first, and then sculpt. So yeah. So I think I'm done here. And any questions, please, about stuff, and I will answer. Thank you, Harib. Thank you so much. Alpha brush. Yeah, it depends. It depends what you're doing. If you're doing hard surface, then alphas is really important. If you're doing sculpt, then I don't use a lot of alphas in sculpts. If it's tattoos, yes, I will do alphas. Yeah, so an A pose is much easier for me to see the character. If the character is like this, it's much hard. But I can make him into A pose, and to T pose. Sorry, I can make this stuff in T pose too. It's just that if the animators want a T pose, then I will create the T pose out of the model I've done. But I always make them A pose at first, just to see the whole character at relaxing position, so that I know how he looks. That's why I do A pose. But T pose, if it's requested, absolutely, I can make that. But it needs a bit of sculpting. Yeah.
I have a question. Based on your
Yep.
valuable experience in the gaming industry and your journey
Yep.
as a 3D artist, what
Yep.
advice would you offer to those who are just starting out or aspire to become 3D artists in the gaming world? And
Yeah.
are there any specific skills or experiences you think are crucial for success in this field?
Yeah, I mean, know your tools. This is the most important thing to know. Don't rush things. Some people, you see me, I make easy stuff. This took me a long time. This took me some time to learn. And experience comes with time. Do not rush anything. And the most important thing is to not to rush and to learn and always be optimistic. Try to learn from others and always know the tools. Know the tools. If you're using ZBrush, know everything in ZBrush. Not everything, because I'm not 100% ZBrush too, but try to know how things work in different softwares and do not rush things. So try to calm down and take your time, and because a month of study is a lot of study. But month is a 30-day, period. So try to harder is not smarter. This is a thing that I need everyone to listen to. If you work harder is not smarter. Work smarter instead. Try to make your own assets. Try to know your work, know your tools before working harder. So it will pay off. It will pay off. Trust me. I've begun to. I was a beginner too at one point, but I took my time. So this is the only thing I can give everyone. Yeah. And
Got some more questions in the chat, so I guess you can read them.
yeah, there's a lot of close. Yeah. No, not really, not really. I mean, this is the answer for high end 14. Yeah, I mean the clothing is not. It depends, really. It depends on how the person looks. But I always isolate stuff. I'm isolating the clothing always when I sculpt. So I do not sculpt. Some people love to sculpt everything on the character. So if you're gonna have a t-shirt, they will just sculpt a t-shirt on him. This is not my work of flow. It's better on the T pose, yes, absolutely. But if you're working on an A pose, try to make some room. I would say this is a close armpit action here. I know that.
Yeah, so before everyone leaves, I just want to say that the next workshop will be on the 5th of January at 1 p.m. and it will be programming by Tony Scoro. It starts at 1 p.m. but we'll also add this to events, so keep an eye out for that. And also, if you're interested in the game overall, we'll have loads of game tournaments up until the 5th. So keep an eye out for that.
A lot of good things are coming. Trust me.
Yeah.
Keep it on. Thank you for everyone, and thank you, Jonas and Gharib. Thank you so much for having me on the workshop.